you can see it is p squared minus 4 can be written as 2 raised to power 2 m raised to power 2. So when you simplify this with a difference of 2 squares, you just write p minus 2m into p plus 2m. A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Therefore, if you have p squared minus 2 squared m squared can be written as, you just collect p with 2m, then there's a square, there's a difference of 2 squares. You square it, but you pick it, but with the sign changed. That is p plus 2m. So this is the numerator. Then we go to the denominator. At the denominator we have 2m squared minus 7mp plus 3p squared. This is a quadratic equation, and we solve it quadratically just by factorizing. Look for two numbers that when you multiply gives you 2m squared 2m times 3p. So when you multiply them gives you 6mp. When you multiply the two numbers gives you 6mp. But when you add the same two numbers gives you, when you add the same two numbers, let the numbers be a and b, when you add the same numbers gives you minus 7mp. So when we get two numbers that when we multiply gives you 6, when you add gives you minus 7. The numbers are minus 1 and minus 6. You come back here, but now because we have mp, we will just replace mp. So we have 2m squared minus mp, which is represented by minus 1, then minus 6mp, which is represented by this minus 6, plus 3p squared. Then you simplify this by just collecting the like terms. So 2m squared, okay, simplify this side of the equation and this side of the equation. So what is common in these two is m into m goes into 2m squared 2m times minus m goes into mp p times. Then what is common between these two is minus 3p. P is here, p is here, 3 is here, and 6 is here. So 3 can go into 6. So what is common on this side is 3p. So 3p goes into 6mp 2m times. When you open this, gives you 6mp. Minus times plus, I said, is minus. 3p goes into 3p squared how many times? P times. Therefore, as you can see in our brackets, we have 2m minus p, again 2m minus p. So you just collect them together, 2m minus p, use 1, into, take this m, then take this minus 3p. This is the denominator. So remember our numerator is this, which is p plus 2m, p plus 2m, divided by our denominator is 2m minus p into m minus 3p. So from this, we want to simplify this further. So how do we simplify it? We have p plus 2m, but here we have 2m minus p. So we can make this be equal to this by simply multiplying the upper part of the equation by negative 1. So when you open this, the downer part by negative 1. So when you open this, you will get p plus 2m divided by 2m plus p into m minus 3p. So 2m plus p and 2m plus p cancel. So here you remain with 1 divided by m minus 3p. Then remember we have minus here. This was a difference of 2 squares, sorry. That is why I was not seeing it coming out. So this is also p plus 2m, and then this is p minus 2m. Now that's okay. So here we have p minus 2m. So remember, we still have a negative. So let me just take you back a little bit because I've introduced a negative here. So from here, just get me from here, p plus 2m, which is here p plus 2m, then p minus 2m, which is this part of the value. I only took one part, sorry for that. So we take both of them. That is p plus 2m. We start, just forget about this. So we start from here. P plus 2m into p minus 2m, divide by 2m minus p into m minus 3p. So you can clearly see from here, we have p plus 2m into p minus 2m divided by 2m minus p into m minus 3p. So introduce the negative so that at least this becomes a factor of one of these. So when you introduce a negative at the top, you will get, multiply this by the negative, you will get 2m minus p. Minus times minus 2m is 2m. Then minus times p is minus p. Into bracket, this value is p plus 2m divided by 2m minus p into m minus 3p. Remember, we have negative here. So 2m minus p over 2m minus p, this and this cancel. So here you remain with p plus 2m divided by m minus 3p. So if you have a negative here, we can divide this by negative. Here now you will get, just follow me here, we're almost finishing it. When you multiply this by a negative, you get 3p. The denominator is 3p plus m. 3p minus m, sorry. 3p minus m. Then the numerator becomes p plus 2m. You can see the way these letters is playing around. It's just a matter of the signs, how you place the signs. That is what is very important. So you be careful when you solve such mathematics. Number one, if you know what to do, the difference of 2 squares and solving the quadratic expression. The most important thing you do in such mathematics is to observe, check the signs keenly, how you place the signs. So we finished that. Question 10. 3z squared minus 12 divided by 3 minus 1 plus z. So remember, I told you, you observe the difference of 2 squares. Simplify. So here we can see 3z squared minus 12. What is common between 3 and 12 is 3. So you can simplify this by saying 3 into z squared minus 3 goes into 12 4 times. Divide by 3 minus, when 3 minus into 1 plus z. So from here we have 3 into z squared. Then minus 4 can be written as minus 2 squared. Divide by, when divide by 3 minus 1 plus z. So this is a difference of 2 squared, and we say the difference of 2 squared, a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So you only replace this by saying 3 into z minus 2 into z plus 2. divide by, when you open up this, it becomes 3 minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 times z is minus z. So this becomes 2 minus z. So down here we have 2 minus z. Again, you can easily see that we have 3 into z minus 2 plus 3 into z minus 2 into z plus 2 divided by 2 minus z. Here we have 3 into z minus 2 into z plus 2 divided by 2 minus z. Again, there is a relationship between z minus 2 and 2 minus z, but we introduce a negative 1 at the numerator. So when you introduce a negative 1 at the numerator, we will have negative 3 into, this is z, minus 1 times 2 times minus 2 is 2. Then minus 1 times z is minus z into z plus 2. This remains. You divide by 2 minus z. So we can clearly cancel 2 minus z and 2 minus z. What do you remain with? Minus 3 into z plus 2. So when you expand this, you will have minus 3z minus 6. But you can just leave it in this form. That is the answer for this. So I want to caution you. Actually, this mathematics, you need to be very careful with the signs. Because if you miss a positive for a negative, then be automatic that you are going to get it wrong. But it's still easy. It requires a lot of keenness. Then our last question is on calculus, which is integration. Most people, they don't go well with calculus. Calculus is one of the easiest. So question number 11, you are told to integrate. This sign means integration with the limits of 5 and 2. Integrate x squared minus 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 2 with reference to dx. So before you start integration, you simplify what is in the bracket. We can see a quadratic expression. So the quadratic expression can be simplified by simply writing x squared plus x squared minus 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. Look for two numbers. If you multiply them, gives you positive 2. If you add them, gives you negative 3. So the two numbers are negative 1 and negative 2. When you add these two numbers, gives you negative 3, but when you multiply them, gives you positive 2. So from here, we expand it to x squared minus x minus 2x plus 2 equals, no, just that, divide by x minus 2. When you collect from both sides, you find that what is common here is x. X goes into x squared x times, minus x goes into x once, minus what is common here, 2, into minus 2 goes into minus 2x, how many times? X times. Then minus 2 goes into plus 2 minus 1s, minus 1. What is common to these two is x plus 1, x minus 1, sorry, into You collect this x and minus 2 together also, x minus 2. So we have our equation simplified as x minus 1 into x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. So this x and this x goes. So the equation that we have simplified is x minus 1. So you are told to integrate this with limits of 5 and 2. Okay? 5 and 2 dx. So we want to integrate this value. So I want to start on a fresh page on the integration. So we are integrating with the limits. Upper limit is 5, lower limit is 2 of x minus 1 dx. So when you are integrating x, just write x, then x has a silent power of 1. Add 1 to it. Remember differentiation, we were subtracting 1. But integration, you add 1. Then what you divide with it, what you add, what you get from the power, you divide with that answer that you get, with the summation of 1 plus 1, that is 2. Then minus, remember here we have 1. 1 can also be written as 1 times x raised to power 0. So 1 can be written as x raised to power 0. You add 1, then divide it by that value that you get. 0 plus 1 is 1. And now our limits here are 5 and 2. Okay? That's it. This gives us x squared divided by 2, okay, minus x raised to power 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. So therefore x power 1 is x. Limits of 5 and 2. So when you want to open this bracket to insert the limits, you simply, where there is x, you start with the upper limits. Where there is x, you replace it with 5. So you say 5 squared divided by 2 minus x here is 5. Then this value that you get, you subtract the lower limit. We have upper limit and the lower limit. So the upper limit is 5 into these values minus 2 into these values. Minus, you replace 2 here. So it becomes 2 squared divided by 2 minus 2. You open this up. 5 squared is 25 from your calculator. Divide by 2 minus 5 minus 2 squared is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then minus 2. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So 12.5 minus 5 minus 2 minus 2 is 0. Therefore 12.5 minus 5, you get 7.5. That is the value. Finally, find the value of a. That's question number 12. Find the value of a that satisfy the limits a and 0 of x squared plus 1 dx equals to 2a. I want us to be very careful here. It's just a matter of being keen. We first of all have to integrate this. So by integrating this, as I told you, you write x, integrate the first part x, then it is squared, add 1 in integration, add 1, then divide by the summation of what you get, which is 3, plus, here we have x raised to power 0. I told you any number raised to power 0 is 1. Any letter raised to power 0 is 1. So x raised to power 0 plus 1 divided by 1. What do we get here? This is x cubed divided by 3 plus x raised to power 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. X raised to power 1 is just x. So these values, after integrating, you don't write dx. You just replace it with the limits of 5 and 0. And again, you don't write the integral sign because you've already integrated it. So this value equals to 2a. Again, just replace where there is x, replace with 5. So this becomes 5 cubed, 5 raised to power 3, divide by 3, plus 5. Okay? So in this case, it is not 5, it is a, sorry. This is a and 0. So we are finding the value of a. So where there is x, you write a. So it is a cubed, a cubed. A raised to power 3 divided by 3, plus, this is a, not 5, a, equals to 2a. Then collect the like terms. A raised to power 3 divided by 3 equals to 2a. When a crosses the other side becomes minus a. So a raised to power 3 divided by 3 equals to 2a minus a is a. Then cross multiply by 3, cross multiply by 3, both sides. This 3 and 3 goes. Then we have a raised to power 3 equals to 3a. Then we can further simplify by dividing by a because a is common. So a and a goes. Therefore, if a divided by a raised to power 3, it's like saying a times a times a. When I put dot means times. A times a times a. Divide by a equals to 3. So from here, a can cancel 1a. Then you remain with a times a, which can be written as a squared. So a squared equals to 3. If you want to find the value of a, you find the square root of 3. So a is root 3, and the square root of 3 is 1.7321. From your calculator, that is the answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've finished our lesson. I hope it was so enjoyable. And next time we are going to do chemistry from next week. We'll also proceed with mathematics. I'll be communicating the days. But this time round, we'll be handling mathematics topic-wise. We'll be dealing with a topic, then solving quick questions, challenges on that topic. I would like to wish you all the best and tell you that this is more reason why I told the Ministry of Education to bring the papers in my office for verification because I'm overqualified. Thank you. God bless you all. Asanteni sana.